Hello everybody and welcome back to another video on the channel. Yes, more marathon content. I'm obsessed. Well, I want to welcome you guys all back to another video on the channel. I really appreciate you guys clicking on another one. And if you did click on another one, make sure you hit the like button and the subscribe, because we're going to be going over my favorite things that I love about marathon and the things that I don't like so much about marathon today. But before I get into all that, I just want to make something very clear. I am absolutely in love with this game. I think this game is awesome. I think more people need to play it. I'm not trying to sit here and sell you on it. That is not my job. You decide if you want to play this game or not. But today we're going to be talking about my favorite things that I love about marathon. And before I get into that one more time, I'm going to make myself very clear about something. I've been getting a lot of comments on my social media telling me that this game sucks and that you shouldn't play it and anything like that. For those of you who have been watching me for a very long time, I need to reiterate something. I do not play games that I do not have fun in, right? And yes, I am originally Call of Duty player. Say what you will. Black Ops 7 was really fun for me for a very long time, right? And then this game came out, so now I'm having fun with this. I wasn't having so much fun with BO7, so now I'm playing Marathon. If all of you have watched me, or the people who have originally watched me know, I am a Destiny boy at heart. I'm hopping on a new Bungie game when it comes out. You guys don't want to play it, that's totally up to you, but I'm going to give you, hi Thief, I'm going to give you the reasons why I think this game is awesome. Things I love about Marathon are, one of them is very obvious. I love the art style. I see a lot of people complain online about the art style. It's too colorful and all this stuff. Get over yourself. The colors in this game are awesome. Like, the world that is built around Tau Ceti and the world that is built around this game makes sense for the actual game. Marathon takes place in the future, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that the future is very colorful, right? But there's something about Tau Ceti that I absolutely love. It feels like that Are you shaking your head? He's looking at me like that. Stay over there. It feels like Tau Ceti is meant to have those bright colors, and the bright colors are almost like a very weird distraction from everything else trying to murder you. It's like basically the core of a dystopian. Very, you know, colorful, very this, very that, very flashy, but there's always a secret. And I think that's what Marathon is trying to portray, and I think they've done an absolutely amazing job at it. So let's get into the gameplay stuff. First thing I want to talk about that I absolutely love. I'm going to do pros first, cons later. We gonna run it a little bit, girl. Hold your horses. Pros, runner shells. I love every single runner shell in this game. I think the runner shells are actually relatively balanced. One of the biggest problems that I had with the alpha version of Marathon, if you guys watched my last video, you know that I got to play the playtest. I wasn't allowed to talk about it because I was under NDA. A lot of the runner shells kind of felt underpowered in a weird way. Like, there was definitely some overpowered shells, but I think all of them are relatively balanced. My three favorite shells right now are Thief, Vandal, and Triage by a mile. And I know Vandal is technically the underpowered shell, but honestly, like, if you learn how to play Vandal, she honestly is very strong, especially when it comes to team engagements. So I think every single shell does the job that it is supposed to. It is exactly the way that I envisioned Bungie designing all these runner shells, and honestly, they killed it. The runner shells are so much fun. The next thing I want to go to is the guns and the gear, right? I have a big problem with shooter games nowadays, and one thing that peaked for me, especially like in Modern Warfare 2019 and Call of Duty, is I felt like every single gun in that game had some sort of personality. There are guns in multiple games that have personality. Destiny is a huge one of them. Luna's Howl, the Revoker. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Every single one of those guns felt different because they were a special gun. Marathon honestly feels the same way to me. I feel that every single gun has like its own weird personality, and the more that you play the game and the more that you upgrade those weapons, that comes more to light. And the gear in this game is so much fun. Like, there is so many different things that you can do to upgrade your runners, and I'll get into that later because y'all are missing something, and I'm going to give you a tip somewhere in the middle of this video. But it's awesome. I like having that amount of options. One of the things that I didn't like in like Destiny, before they started adding like different like sights and stuff to guns, is that I wasn't able to customize things. In Marathon, you are allowed to customize whatever you want, and it's awesome. It's super, super fun, and I absolutely love it. I think it's the best thing about this game. Gunfights are wild in this game. We were doing a Dire Marsh run, which is the second map that you unlock when you start to rank up, the other day. And there is this one hotspot that I really didn't think would be super hot. It's called Intersection. It's either called Intersection or something else. I think it's called Intersection. We were in a gunfight for 15 minutes. There's 4 teams trying to complete the same contract that we were, and we battled it out for 15 minutes, and we ended up coming out on top. I'm gonna post that gameplay. It was nuts, and it was awesome. It was like the best thing about Marathon. Like, Marathon is built for PvP. It is so much fun. But here's the thing. Here's the other side of this whole thing. While the gunfights are fun, fighting the UESC is also fun in my opinion too. Now, to kind of go off track for a little bit, I will say that some runs that I have are boring and some runs that I have are action-packed. I feel like that's most extraction shooters for the most part. Like, I probably have about 50 to 60 hours in Arc Raiders, and I feel like a lot of the time in Arc Raiders, I was just doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, and I don't like that. I need some versatility in my gameplay, and Marathon has been offering that to me. Marathon, I can do whatever I want, when I want, how I want. Crazy concept, right? So having a game like this is super fun, but I will tie something in that I'm going to say later into what I just said. So bear with me for a second. This is another thing about how this game is built that I also absolutely love. So, like, this is like the 4th or 5th thing. I'm not going to try to name everything. I'm just going to try to get through this video so you guys have a better understanding of where I'm coming from with this game. The more you play Marathon, the more you discover. The game is built that way. The game is called Marathon. Remember, you guys know the old saying, like, it's not a race, it's a marathon, like stuff like that. Like that old saying, like your mom probably said it to you, like, college isn't a race, it's a marathon. Like, that's what my mom said to me, and she was damn near right, because that shit took me a minute to finish. But here I am making videos for y'all. But Marathon is built in a way that the more you play it, the more time you take in it, the better the game gets. And honestly, it starts to go like this pretty quickly. I would say for the first about 3 to 4 hours of the game is a lot of learning. There is a big learning curve in this game, and I'll get to that later. But a lot of people online have been talking about Marathon takes a second for you to fully digest what is really going on. And once it clicks, you get it. And I full-heartedly agree with that. I think that Bungie designed this game to legitimately be a marathon. Like, we ain't sprinting in Marathon. We doing the whole thing, right? Like, there's three maps right now, and the 4th is on the way. Like, there's a ton of secrets. There's a ton of things to learn about this game. And I know that may shy some people away. I feel y'all, bro. I'm getting up there in age, right? I'm a 27-year-old beautiful man, and I feel y'all. I want to learn all this shit, but like, there's something about this game that makes me want to come back and learn. Like, I haven't had a game that made me wake up thinking about it in a very, very long time. So yes, the more that you play Marathon, the more you will learn about it. I guarantee you that, and that's for any video game. So the next thing I want to go to is the map designs, right? Dire Marsh is probably the weakest out of the 3, right? Dire Marsh is beautiful. Don't get me wrong. The scenery is freaking sick. It is so cool looking, and I love all the POIs on it. But the one thing that I will say about Dire Marsh is I don't particularly like the layout. I don't know if it's the layout or it's like where people spawn, but I feel like there's a lot of hot zones in Dire Marsh, and the flow of the map kind of just gets a little messed up. But like Perimeter and Outpost is by far one of the coolest maps I've ever played in a video game. It is so dope. The Firestorm, all the UESC, the way that it's set up basically is like, okay, you have to make a decision now. Do you want to fight everybody, or do you want to hide and wait for all the stuff to disband, right? Like, it gives you different things to do, right? And I think Dire Marsh is a good map. I just think it's the weakest out of all of them, right? And honestly, I can't wait to see what Bungie does with Cryo Archive. I know we're getting another map like pretty soon, but so far so good. I'd say they're about 2 out of 3 right now because Cryo isn't out, but so far so good. The next thing I want to talk about is the upgrade system. I think a lot of people online, and honestly, I feel you, the upgrade system is kind of hard to understand, but once you figure it out, right, you become a cybernetic assassin, right? Mobility, heat, all the other stuff that you guys will learn when you play this game upgrades you to make you feel like you actually are a god. the slogan for the game is "Escape will make me God," right? And honestly, like that was probably one of the largest like turning points for me in this game, is that the upgrade system is how you can progress and how you will get better at this game. And things do get slightly easier once you figure out your upgrade system, right? Factions and contracts, same way, right? To go into factions and contracts, I think factions and contracts, the way that they have set this up in this game is beautiful, right? So the faction stuff, you can either do the contracts to do the story, and once you do the story, like there is a full story in this game, by the way. As you're doing contracts, you're learning more about the world. As you're doing contracts, you're getting chips, upgrades, augments, weapons, ammo, health packs, cleans, everything, right? So the more you get contracts done, the more stuff that you get, and that also allows you to upgrade your vaults. So there's your armory and there's your vault, right? Your armory is the current stuff that you have. The vault is where all the factions sell stuff. So you're never truly out of it. You can go right into the vault if you die on a bad run, and you can and you can get most of the stuff that you lost back, like heal, shield, everything, right? And as you upgrade your factions and as you upgrade your contracts, you get the privilege of getting higher tier stuff. So you're never truly out of it, right? That's the whole point of an extraction shooter. Go in, die, go back. Go in, die, go back. Go in, kill a bunch of people, exfil, get all your stuff, do it again. It's the cycle of the extraction shooter, and it's awesome in Marathon. I think it's freaking sweet. I love it. I've been playing a ton of Rook. Rook is so much fun. Speaking of Rook, having a solo play like option like Rook in Marathon is actually so much fun. Like, I know Marathon is very shoot on sight. If you see something, Tau Ceti is not Sperincia or wherever the hell, and Arc Raiders, right? We shoot on sight in Tau Ceti. But I think as the player base grows, because I do think it is going to grow in the very near future, because there's a lot of things on the internet, but I'll get to that at the end. Having a solo play option like Rook is really fun, right? I will talk about something in a second that I do think should be implemented in a Marathon. I do have some recommendations on this thing, but I think Rook is an absolutely awesome character. I think he's super fun. I love his abilities. I love that you're able to like sneak past UESC. And I've been murked by a Rook before. Yeah, I'll post the clip in here. But yeah, I think Rook is awesome. This was a huge one for me. The thing that I was the most worried about, I love you, Bungie. Don't get me wrong, pay for power. That was one of the biggest problems I had, alpha testing this game, was that I didn't want Bungie to put anything in the game that is pay for power. And I knew they were going to have a rewards pass or a battle pass, whatever you want to call it. And the thing that scared me the most was that was a possibility. The battle pass is completely cosmetic. You don't get anything for free in this game. This game challenges you to make the right decisions about what gear that you want. You do not pay for power in this game. You find it yourself, which I think is a very, very huge thing that I really was scared about when this game was going to initially release, that they were going to add like, hey, like if you buy this bundle, we'll give you like 9 snipers and stuff like that. Like, no, everything is strictly cosmetic. And honestly, being able to earn the in-game currency for the rewards pass is sick. And honestly, I don't even think the bundles are that much. And there's a lot of people online being like, oh, well, hold on. Actually, Bungie does have a store in the game and you need to buy cosmetics. Well, while we're sitting here and I get to prove you all wrong, which is really funny, we're going to talk about the UI. Don't get me wrong. We are definitely talking about the UI. If you go to your codex, right, and you go to factions and you pick any factions, let's say Sekaguchi Genetics for something, and you go to sponsor kits, if you complete a run with a Sekaguchi Genetics sponsor kit with whichever runner that you have in this game, you get a free skin. There are 6 factions in this game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 factions in this game, and 5 of them have skins with Arachne on the way. So don't sit here and tell me like, oh, this game is all, you got to pay for all the cosmetics. You don't. A majority of the fire cosmetics don't come from the reward pass. The skin that I have on Thief right here is from a Cyber Acme free kit, and I extracted with it. That's all I had to do, was just extract using the free kit, right? So don't sit here and tell me that everything is, you got to buy it all, because you don't, for the most part. right? You want the battle pass with all the stuff in it? Feel free. But you know what the best thing about having that option is? You don't have to buy it, guys. You don't need to swipe your credit card. You don't need to put your credit card on your Bungie account. All you need to do is buy the game. And if you want to run with all the free skins, you can do that. Y'all are killing me, bruh. Like, yeah. But yeah, I love that. You know, being able to earn all some of the coolest stuff in the game you can do for free. It's awesome. Last thing I want to talk about is the story of Marathon. I love the lore in this game. I don't skip anything, right? In my first couple of streams, which if you want to watch me, twitch.tv/Fusco98. In my first couple of streams, I skipped like the stuff that I already knew, but now that I'm getting into more of the stuff that I don't know, I think the story for this game is amazing. Like, I think the story is very well rooted into the physical gameplay, and the more that you learn about the world, the more the story makes sense. It's not like Destiny where they like make you do a campaign, right? This is a game where you have to, if you want answers, you have to find them yourself. And I kind of like that, but like, it's not that hard. Like, just do the contracts. Like, you'll learn stuff. Like, every single faction in this game has something to do with the Marathon ship. We don't know the reason why it crashed yet. Probably gonna know soon. But most of the factions give you story about like what's been really going on, what's going on in the world. And honestly, it's awesome. Like, I'm not a lore guy. Like, I don't talk about lore about video games that much. There's like a million people who are making videos on this game. Go check out one of those. The story is really awesome. I do advise playing the game first and then doing that, but the story is really sick. All right, now for the bad. I wouldn't say bad. I say this is definitely stuff that needs to be improved. This user interface is not my favorite. I ain't gonna lie. I think a lot of it has to do with like if I hit tab here, like customize, shell select, loadout, vault, and armory are all up here. And honestly, I didn't even know that. Like the vault and the armory kind of low key. I think they need to change the name of them because I couldn't differentiate between the two. I don't know if that's just me being on the copium, but I don't know. Like the codex and stuff is kind of disorganized. Like I just think the UI in this game is disorganized. Actual in-game running UI, you get used to it pretty quick in my opinion. Like it's not that big of a deal. This whole thing they got going on here, they gotta like kind of space it out. I feel like everything is like very cluttered and they can space this stuff out. It's not that huge of a deal. All in all, like in runs, like the UI I think is actually pretty decent. This is like my biggest gripe with this game, right? As somebody who wants this game to succeed, I dropped my headphones, give me a second. As somebody who wants this game to just succeed, and as somebody who's played Bungie games for a very long time, the one thing that I can tell you that I love the most about Destiny 2 is how it introduces new players. It gives you a relatively good backstory about where you came from, why you're in the Cosmodrome, and it tells you how to use all your stuff, right? This game does not do that, to a certain extent. You get basically thrown into a run, and you're basically told to loot and get out, right? I think for people who don't want to spend the time learning all of that, there needs to be some sort of like developed onboarding for players, right? I'm not going to sit here before the gremlins get in my comments and say you're going back on what you said that you like Marathon being hard, right? This is basic stuff I'm talking. Like, what's a runner? How do you use your thing? Like, what are augments? What are chips? What are weapons? Like, what, like ammo, this, that, and the other thing, right? There's definitely a better way to do that than just throwing something in a run and being like, good luck, stuff like that, right? Like, I know extraction shooters are supposed to be hard, but I feel that Marathon is between like the Fortnite and what's the hardest BR, right? Let's talk about this. Marathon is somewhere between like Arc Raiders and Tarkov. So like Tarkov being the hardest, Arc Raiders being like the easiest in my opinion. That game is easy as shit, right? And Marathon is about right in the center right here. The one thing that Arc Raiders does very well is they have a good onboarding system, right? They talk about factions, they talk about this, they tell you what these people do, where to go for certain things, and that's like probably my favorite thing about Arc Raiders is that I was able to learn most of what I'm supposed to do very quickly. Love it. Great, right? Marathon is complicated. Marathon is a complicated game, right? It's not so much complicated where you're playing Escape from Tarkov and going through 900 bullet types for one weapon. That's very streamlined in this game. But I do think there needs to be some sort of system where you can learn the bare minimum basics, right? They give you bare minimum basics, but it's not enough for you to like just hop into a run and kind of know what you're doing, right? I think more people would be inclined to play this game if they had like just a little bit of a cookie, right? Like you don't have to give them everything. Give them something, right? Like, I just bought this game for my girlfriend, and she's like, I have no idea what I'm doing. So I had to kind of like explain everything to her that wasn't explained in the game. I don't want to have to do that for all my friends at Bungie. So the other thing that I want to, not necessarily, this isn't a bad thing. This is me looking at it from the perspective of somebody who's trying to get into Marathon, right? This game is very, very hard. So this is more of a suggestion. I should have put this in the recommendations section. Like, I probably will talk about this. So like, I'm just going to move to recommendations now. So this game is hard, right? And down the line, we're going to get a bunch of maps on Tau setting, right? So maybe down the line, maybe not right now, maybe in a little bit later when this game is more developed and stuff like that, I could see Bungie reverting Perimeter and Dire Marsh to being like a 1 to 2 squad map. Now, hear me out, right? The world that Marathon is in is crazy. It is so beautiful. It is awesome. But the thing about Marathon is you have to be pretty locked in all the time because the game is hard. They made it that way for a specific reason. So, to attract more players to the game, think about it like how Destiny does it, right? When you want to play a strike, you can do 2 versions of it. You can either do the Nightfall or you can do the regular, right? I think if Marathon were to release like playlists for every single map where it's like 2 options, it's like go in, 1 team, do your thing, right? Loot, get whatever, right? Loot's not going to be as good, but if you need like meds and stuff like that, go play the easy maps, stock up on those, get out, right? But if people wanted to play the older or like the Dire Marsh and Perimeter on a harder stuff where there's like caches, vaults, all that stuff, you play like the adept version of it. You feel me? Right? Because I think that this game has a lot of replay value for people who are hardcore. It doesn't have a lot of replay value for people who are casual, right? But I do think that Marathon is mostly casual in Perimeter, right? When you get to Dire Marsh is about the medium map, and then Outpost, everything in their mother is trying to kill you on that map. But I think if you released 2 versions of the 3 maps and made one part like strictly for looting, maybe like some weapons, some chips, certain things, right? I think that'd be kind of fun, right? Or you rotate them every single week. So that's just kind of like my big idea for Marathon. And the last thing that I kind of already touched on is like, I do think the initial player experience needs to be developed. Personally, I don't really care because I picked this game up pretty quick. I also did get to play the alpha, so I did have a leg up on most of you people. But I do think that needs to be, you know, somewhat updated. However, YouTube does exist for a reason, and that's to learn about video games. Most of you guys, probably 99% of you who watch this video, have been on YouTube before and watched something about a game, right? So I get that. Like, games like Apex thrive off of skill ceilings, right? Marathon does the same thing. The better you are at the game, the more success rate you're going to have in this game, right? But I do think there needs to be some sort of casual part for it for other players to come in and experience what we are experiencing and that we are having a really good time, right? I understand that. With that being said, Bungie, I am very excited for what you guys have created. I am absolutely loving this game. And if you're thinking about buying it, I would say give it a shot. I cannot say enough good things about this game and how much fun that I am having. With that being said, I'm going to rant for about a minute. Y'all people on the internet need to chill. For real. Y'all have been in my comments being like, don't play this game, it's trash. Y'all don't even watch me, bro. Chill. Like, we have gotten to an era of gaming, primarily due to High Guard, that a game cannot succeed unless it's like COD, our creators, Apex Legends, Titanfall. Please make another one. And honestly, I'm just kind of sick of y'all, to be honest. This game is good. The people who are playing it are enjoying it. The reviews speak for itself. That's all I'm saying. If you buy it and you don't like it, that's fine. But don't go into somebody else's comments and be like, this game is trash. You shouldn't play this game. Because I'm going to play it whether y'all like it or not. Right? You're just wasting your breath. Enjoy your game, right? I love Arc Raiders. I think Arc Raiders is a great game. Do I like third-person shooters? No. Third-person shooters are just not my thing. I like FPSs. This is the perfect extraction shooter for me. It's basically set in the same universe as Halo and Destiny. The guns feel very familiar to me, and I love the colors. I'm a marathon boy. What can I say? But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching another video on the channel. I appreciate you guys so much. Make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you hit the like button. Check out ATK, Pulsar Gaming, and JUVEE. And you can use code FUSCO98 to get 10% off of your orders for any of those brands. Everything is in the description. I'll see you guys in Tal City. Peace.